In problem 18, we're going to be multiplying binomials using what's called the FOIL method. So I left at the top of the page the diagram of what the FOIL method is. The FOIL method just helps us understand how to multiply a binomial, which is a two-term polynomial. So here's your first term, ax, second term is b, times a binomial, first term cx, second term d. You just want to be sure that you multiply everything in one set of parentheses times everything in the other. So the FOIL just tells us to multiply the first, ax times cx, outside ax times d, inside b times cx, and the last, b times d. So keep that in mind. I'm really going to write that out for the first example, and for the others, I'll use a little bit more of a shorthand, at least for B and D below. All right, so let's see how this is going to work. Multiply and simplify x plus 3 times x plus 4. So if I use the FOIL, the first is x times x, so I'm just going to write it down here, x times x, and I'll go ahead and use parentheses. And everything is plus, we don't have to worry about that. The outside is x times 4, and I'm going to just write it as 4 times x because we're used to seeing it more that way. Then the inside is 3 times x, so 3 times x. And the parentheses are not super important when all we have are positive signs, but you'll see they are more important when we use negatives. And then the last, 3 times 4. So if we simplify then, so this, we have x times x, x squared, plus 4x, plus 3x, plus 3 times 4 is 12. And most of the time we'll be able to combine our inside terms. They will be like terms. So 4x plus 3x is 7x plus 12. And that is the final result. Let's take a look at part B. I'm going to use a little bit more of a shorthand here. 2d minus 4 times 3d plus 5. So I'm going to start with 2d times 3d, and that's going to give me, I already have my equal sign, so that's going to give me 6d squared. So 2 times 3 and d times d. Then 2d times 5 is plus 10d. Then negative 4 times 3d is minus 12d. Then negative 4 times a positive 5 is negative 20. If I combine my like terms in the middle, I get 6d squared minus 2d minus 20, and that is my final result. I'm actually going to skip C for a second and go to D. I have the binomial squared. What you have to remember here is that this is 3 minus 2a times 3 minus 2a. Many students want to just square the 3, square the negative 2a, and be done. But you have to remember there's a lot more going on here when I'm multiplying a binomial times a binomial. So once I have it written out separately, I can apply the FOIL. So 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times minus 2a is minus 6a. Minus 2a times 3 is minus 6a. Minus 2a times minus 2a is plus 4a squared. If I combine my like terms in the middle, I end up with 9 minus 12a plus 4a squared And normally we write our polynomials in descending order with the highest degree term first. So I'm going to rewrite this as 4a squared minus 12a plus 9. And that is our final result. Now, I saved the best for last. What we have here is a binomial times a trinomial. So the FOIL will not work because the FOIL is for 2 terms and 2 terms. But the idea of the FOIL will work, and that idea is that I want to multiply everything in the first set of parentheses times everything in the second. And let me show you how I'm going to do this for a binomial times a trinomial. I think it will help you keep track of things pretty well. I want to multiply x times everything in the second set of parentheses, so x squared plus 2x minus 4. And then what I want to do is multiply minus 2 times everything, x squared plus 2x minus 4. And so all I'm doing is breaking up x times everything in the trinomial minus 2 times everything in the trinomial, and let's see how that shakes out. So x times x squared gives us x cubed. X times plus 2x is 2x to the second. X times negative 4 is minus 4x. Now I move to the second set of parentheses. Minus 2 times x squared is minus 2x squared. Minus 2 times a positive 2x is minus 4x. Minus 2 times a minus 4 is plus 8. Now I just need to combine my like terms. X cubed does not have any like terms, so I'm going to leave that as x cubed. 2x squared minus 2x squared, those are going to go away. So that goes to 0. Minus 4x becomes minus 8x. So those are gone now. And then plus 8. And that gives me my final result. There are other ways to multiply a binomial times a trinomial, but I believe this method helps you keep track of your terms and all of your signs.